Today, I'm really pleased to be speaking with Michael Holmes. He's the founder of video editing agency VidPros, and I think it's fair to say, Michael, you're a bit of an SPP power user as well.
Oh yes, thanks. Yeah, definitely love the SPP platform. I think it solves like a couple of unique scenarios. Like one, like as an agency, there's definitely like project management tools, and I think of like the Reichs, the Asanas, the base camps of the world, and yeah, like you definitely need to have be able to like move things through like a kind of like the Kanban flow of like when an order is accepted all the way to when it's completed. But all of those tools, the one thing they lack is kind of like the billing. So the SPP is great because it combines kind of like the different order stages as well as having a subscription billing built into it. So it's really easy to kind of see what's going on, who's paid, who hasn't, and who should have access to the service versus not. I think that like a lot of companies like that start off on this like kind of subscription service, they do run into like this thing where like people like either they fail payments or they cancel the service or like even like something like pickle references a lot in their interviews, like before they had their customer portal, people that were not even paying could just like submit through a random link and get the service done. So I think that like it's a very very great product, I guess, that you guys have set up, and I'm glad I found your solution. I've definitely enjoyed using the white label portion of it, because that's kind of our core focus, is that we're looking for other agencies to basically be their video editing partner, and I think that there's a lot of cases for this. So there's video agencies that well, I'm sorry, there's social media agencies that maybe they do strategy or coaching, but they don't necessarily want to do video editing. So this is like kind of like them having a turnkey video editing system in a box, to where we just kind of come in and plug in like additional revenue for them, basically. So yeah, that's what we're doing, and why we're using your product.
Great, yeah, and I mean it'd be great just to hear a little bit of background as well about you, Michael, and just your journey, I suppose, to leading to now and to founding VidPros.
Oh, certainly. Yeah, I have been in the industry for a little while now. I've worked at a similar SaaS, I guess, software as a service, called Uscreen, doing their marketing, and that was a company that acted as a kind of like build your own Netflix. So it was people that were like yoga instructors wanting to sell like online courses that had video. I mean, it was very, I would say there was the entertainment side, but then there was the online learning side. And I would say that like when you compare that product to say like the Kajabis or the Teachables of the world, this was like more video focused. So it was like higher resolution video, and the ability to get like your own video app on like Roku and the Apple and I'm sorry, the iOS and Android devices. So this is going a lot into like Uscreen, but at the same time, it allowed me to kind of like get in the kind of work with creators, I guess, and industry influencers, and learn a little bit more, I guess, about the people that use video editing. I have my own YouTube channels as well, and I'm more of like a hobbyist, I guess, but I do have like this like one DJ like how to DJ video that I made like 4 years ago that like has like 500,000 views on it. So I mean, I just have like
You're a YouTube
I'm
pro by the sounds
knowledgeable
of
about
things.
YouTube. But
500,000
yeah,
views is
that's
pretty impressive.
yeah. But I mean, but you know, it's YouTube, so I could tell you that like I didn't really think of it as like a business, so I didn't have like any additional like revenue things on there. So I mean, like, you know, like it's okay, but it wasn't like quit your day job type fun.
Sure. Yeah, and
So yeah, that's how I got into video editing.
yeah, sure. And I know it's something that you've spoken about on your channels before. Like it's something that I've seen a lot of founders that we speak to as well struggling with is pricing, and especially subscription pricing. I mean, it'd be really great if you could share some of your thoughts and your approach about how you've gone about pricing services, maybe at VidPros, and how you think about it generally.
Yeah, so we're mostly like white label. So like on our website, like we do have like a higher price than kind of like what the white label reseller would actually like negotiate with us, and that's just because like while we're probably like 99% of the way there as far as being white label, I also want to kind of like protect the resellers should the end user find out that we're providing the service. And the I guess that 1% would be like, we're doing like lots of file sharing. So it's like maybe it's a Google Drive or a Dropbox link and somebody like requests it from like maybe the wrong email address. And like that's a possibility, but we strive to get to that like 100% as far as being completely white label. But there is like a little bit of padding, I guess, in our kind of like our publicly displayed prices on the internet. Um, and and yeah, I'd say like a typical like reseller, like where we like advertise 1,000 on the website, they'd probably come in closer to the $600 level. And then I mean, if they're doing like a 35% markup to 50% markup, they would resell that service at either like 800 to $1,000 basically to get like a monthly recurring revenue. And then the other big thing, I guess, on the pricing is that like kind of how we're positioning the service. We're calling it fractional video editing, and this is like in direct opposition to like what a lot of other productized services do, which is they call it uh, unlimited video editing or unlimited graphic design. And the reason we're doing that is that we just feel it's kind of like a lot more honest, because like it is a service fulfilled by humans. So like if you look at like or design pickle for graphic design, like they have a lot of well, they say that it's unlimited graphic design, but it's really just like unlimited requests. You're limited by the speed at which they can fulfill on the requests, and that's really a lot of that's depending on how many actual clients are assigned to each person that works there. So, I mean, if it's a high number, then that means that like your unlimited limited request may take a longer period of time to fulfill per order, and what we're doing is we're saying it's a fractional video editor, and we're being very upfront, I guess, in what you're getting. It's up to 2 hours per day of video editing, and and that allows for each video editor to handle about 4 clients, which allows for, just depending on the complexity of the video, you could have a super complex video that maybe takes a few more days time, or kind of most of our customers are able to get something back on the same day, because it's kind of like a more social media, like a little 1 minute micro content videos that just need to have the ums and ahs taken out and throw on like some like the social media, like the top banner stuff, and add in captions. So I mean, it's relatively simple work, but yeah, we can crank out usually like one or two of those kind of like smaller type of videos in a one in a 2 hour time period. Or if it's a little bit more complex, then it might take 1 to 2 days, I guess, to turn it around. Um, but yeah, that's the reasoning, I guess, why we're making the switch from unlimited video editing to fractional video editing.
Yeah, and how long have you been sort of promoting the service as fractional versus unlimited?
This has been just like within the last month. So I mean, it is a little bit of a pain, because like the kind of like the search engine and people that are like looking for this type of service, they're still like typing in unlimited video editing. So I mean, it's not like something that we've gotten to catch on just yet. But the hope is that like um, people that sign up, I guess, on the unlimited, and then they just got to kind of get like crushed by not understanding what they're purchasing. The hope is like we'll have like less churn in the long run. So like maybe it's like we're making less sales now, but hopefully we're bringing on kind of more right fit customers.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was going to say, if have you noticed any difference or had any customers reaching out to you to sort of clarify what it is they're getting? But it kind of sounds like you've made it more clear for the end consumer.
Yeah,
really.
and I guess there's a little bit of the dynamic, I guess, where we're mostly working with resellers. So I mean, it's I guess it's like kind of like how like they understand what it is because they're video editors, I guess, and they know what's going on. So it's I guess the question is like, and it's completely up to them. It's like, how do they want to position the reseller product? I guess when they sell it to their in client. I haven't had like a lot kind of like take up on the like whole fractional video editing thing just yet. But you know, I mean, it's like you have to consider the audience, you know. So I mean, they're like those users may not understand like what 2 hours of video editing gets you, you know. So I mean, like for them, like they're not using the term unlimited, so that's good. But they are kind of saying like, hey, typical amount of videos done, and then like quoting like a number, which it is working relatively well.
Yeah. Do you think like the end consumer really understands what they're getting into when they look for an unlimited service? Do you think they have expectations that they're going to have like a almost like an extension of their own team, like a full-time team member when they're signing up
Yeah,
for
I
this
would
kind of
say
thing?
that like it's not really well explained on a lot of the unlimited sites. So I mean, like they think, oh yeah, well I mean this is like uh 500 or $1,000 a month. I'm getting like a full time person, and that's simply not the case. I mean, it's they definitely like run into that, and I think this is like what causes the churn is that like that they expect like higher output, I guess, over the a certain time period, and then they get like smaller amounts of output, and they're just like, hey, why is this taking so long? I have a dedicated video editor, which you know, I mean, that's another term that's used a lot, which is dedicated person, which it is technically one person that's working on the account, but they're just working at kind of like half speed or a quarter speed of what they're kind of expecting.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. I can imagine it is quite confusing actually for end consumers, especially if they're not fully aware of what goes into a skilled job like that, like video editing or graphic design or copywriting, whatever it may be. Like, what do you think is the future for the industry? Do you think you'd like to see a world where there's a little bit more upfrontness and honesty in terms of what customers are getting? Do you think we need to move away from this term unlimited and start being a bit more upfront about
Oh
it?
yeah, yeah. I mean, I would. Okay, so like, there's a couple of sides to that. I mean, I think that like obviously like we have to like constantly be evolving as an agency just to kind of like keep forward of the amount of like AI and software tools that are out there. Like it's pretty like amazing, like kind of like what can be done, I guess, just with kind of like do it yourself online video editors right now. So yeah, I mean, I think there's one side like where we have to like kind of like stay ahead of that curve. The other side is like yeah, I mean, consumers are going to become, I guess, more aware of this, I guess, in the future, and I think that like there needs to be like there needs to be that point, I guess, like where like if it's not a software product, you shouldn't be calling it unlimited because like people are using software products that are actually unlimited, and this I think it does cause a certain amount of confusion because I mean it's not a software product. They don't maybe necessarily know that. Maybe they think that it is a software product, and maybe they're getting confused in that sense. But with an actual, I would say anybody who's using people to fulfill the service shouldn't be calling the product unlimited, basically.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then, like, given what you've learned and you're thinking about this at the moment, is there any advice you'd give to agency founders that are kind of starting their own journey here and maybe are a bit tempted to to follow the trend of offering this kind of unlimited approach?
Um, I mean, so yeah, I mean, I would say that like consider like one like it's not really going to if you're just starting off, then like there's not really like that much benefit to doing that because you're just still you're going to run into trying to rank that keyword against everyone else, like an entire sea of competitors basically doing the same thing. So I would say like, well, why not be honest? Why not stand out and make a statement, I mean, and also it should lead to kind of like more um more valuable business in the long term because you're getting people that are more knowledgeable about your product. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons, I guess, like we're kind of focusing, I guess, on more agency clients. Like, let somebody else be the person who has to like kind of like educate the end user on like kind of like what they're buying in a sense, and kind of focus more on customers that are the reseller customers that know more about the industry and kind of like what they're buying.
Yeah, great. And so what's the plan for VidPros? Have you got any sort of things in mind that you'd like to move on to with the agency, or are you kind of still in the testing out what you're doing at the moment with the fractional pricing?
Yeah, that's a great question, Dan. I guess keep on keeping on. Definitely want to continue building this agency, and I think that it's just getting more white label clients is the biggest goal right now, is to just kind of continue growing.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for your time, Michael. Is there any particular places you'd like people to reach out to you? I know you have your YouTube channels as well, if you wanted to let people know what they are.
Yeah, definitely. We've got the VidPros YouTube channel. Come check us out over there, and then also check us out at vidpros.io if there's anything we can help you with. Definitely, we are a video editing agency for other agencies, so would love to connect with people that have complementary type services. And if you want to add in a kind of a turnkey video editing agency to your agency, that's what we do.
Awesome. Thanks so much for your time, Michael. Really appreciate it.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Dan.